I don't understand.
You don't want to get mixed up with a guy like me. I'm a loner, Dottie. A rebel.
Hello everybody, this is Tyler, one half of the Ride Rebellion Flowcast. Over the winter I decided to go full VESC. My Floatwheel ADV and my Pint XV upgrade kit were amazing introductions to VESC, but I wanted to take things to the next level. So back in November I took the plunge and hit up Minnesota's premier VESC builder, Tommy Danner, and we both got hard at work. We had a long discussion about what I wanted out of this build, and I had a few key goals. Number 1, plenty of duty cycle overhead at higher speeds. I never want to second guess if I'm pushing the board too close to its limits. I wanted that extra buffer to ride confidently without worrying about a random bump or crack that would send me flying. Number 2, keeping the weight manageable. My Floatwheel ADV was incredible, but heavy, while my Pint XV felt light and nimble. With the ADV at 41.5 pounds and the Pint XV at 27.5 pounds, I set my goal weight between 30 to 32 pounds for this new board. And number 3 was the MTE hub. This was a non-negotiable. With that in mind, we planned to build this around the Hypercore motor, and shout out to my good buddy Casey Bem, who generously donated one to the project. Thank you, Casey. With the plan in place, it was time to start piecing it together. Batteries, controllers, motors, hubs, and of course my credit took a serious beating. Luckily I was patient enough to snag some deals during the Float Life's Black Friday sale. Since this board was going to have all the bells and whistles, I made the tough call to sell my Floatwheel ADVs, both of them, to fund the build. So the build finally begins. The first big decision was the battery pack. I landed on the 126 volt pack from Indy Speed Control. First major purchase? Check. Then the controller. We went with the Jet Fleet F6. For the BMS, we chose the ALIIIIIIVE V4. For the MTE hub, I knew power wasn't going to be the limiting factor, so I opted for the N52 magnets to get that extra torque. I also reached out to my buddy Brian Doherty to 3D print a high quality controller box, and he was on it. Then came the rest of the build. WTF rails, torque box, cold blocks, bang bumpers, cush high, check, 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 check. And of course I was refreshing TFL's site daily until the XR N52 5-inch MTE hub finally came back in stock. When it did, I damn near tripped over my fingertips trying to get that order in, and I got it. With everything ordered, it was time to wait. Once all the goodies arrived, I packed it all up and I made the 3-hour drive to Tommy to drop them all off. After that, all I could do was sit back and wait for pictures and videos of the progress. Finally, on February 17th, it was ready. Time for the road trip to pick up my new baby. Now on to some of my first impressions and some initial testing. Now February in Minnesota is brutal. It's cold, unforgiving, but I still rode as much as I could stomach. Testing range in suboptimal temps, not ideal. At 30 degrees I got about 15 miles per charge. At about 40 degrees Fahrenheit I got just over 16. Finally we hit a 57 degree day one day and I managed 17 miles on that charge. Based on those numbers I could expect probably 18 to 20 miles in regular riding conditions. And let me tell you, this board is worth every penny and every moment of waiting. Everything about this board just works so seamlessly. The ride was incredibly smooth, and I mean like incredibly smooth. I was also super excited to try out the Float Life's Pioneer tire, and let's just say it's going to be hard for me to switch to anything else. That tire review is coming soon. The fastest that I've hit so far on this board has been 29 miles per hour. Why not faster? It's a mental barrier thing that I have to work through. I kind of get to that 29 mile per hour and my brain's like, no, don't go faster. What duty cycle am I at when I'm at 29 miles per hour? It was about 67%, so I had plenty of headway still to go. And take note that that 29 mile per hour, 67% duty cycle was at 40 degrees Fahrenheit, far from optimal conditions. Everything on this board just works together flawlessly, and the weight? 31 pounds, exactly what I was aiming for. Another insane feature, charging speed. Thanks to the Omni charger, I can charge ridiculously fast. I usually won't go over 5 amps because I care about my battery's longevity, but if I wanted to, I could charge from 0 to 100% in about 18 to 20 minutes. That's crazy. But realistically, I'm good at 5 amps in about, I think it's about 50 minutes. I am completely sold on the 5-inch hub, and I'll never go back. The ride feels so much better and it is much easier on my knees. In total, I spent about $4,000 to $5,000 on this build, and I don't regret a single dollar. It's kind of hard to pinpoint the exact price because, like I said, Casey gave me a free stator, which would have cost money. I also was smart enough to buy some of those things on discount, like I mentioned, so that does vary the price a little bit, but it's somewhere between $4,000 and $5,000. Even with snow still on the ground, I've managed to rack up 150 plus miles so far, and the season hasn't even started yet. It's going to be an amazing year for riding, and I cannot wait. Oh, and one last thing I forgot to mention, she's not done yet. A few days ago, I ordered the 134 volt pack from Indie Speed Control because I'm at 126. I'm like, well, 134 is more than 126, so why not? I'm building my dream board and I'm not sparing any expenses on this baby. I think that pretty much wraps everything up to this point right now. As always, stay safe out there and ride rebellious. Take care, everyone.
Time out. So this is my little chill if I need to just clear my head and take a break. This is my little chill spot. It's my little corner. My little corner, if you will. But listen to how nice this is. Here, let's go down there a little bit. I don't want to get my shoes all wet, but check this out. Isn't that peaceful? I'll come and chill and sit right on this rock here. My board will chill there, waiting for me. Yeah. You gotta have a peaceful chill spot, you know? You know? Don't you know? Alright, let's get back to it. Let's go.